G'day guys, Fitcho here, and welcome to the Inverted Controls Challenge here on F1 2018. Now, the logic behind this challenge is really simple. To turn left, I turn right. To turn right, I turn left. To accelerate, I brake. To brake, I accelerate. To upshift, I downshift. And finally, to downshift, I upshift. And somehow, I need to get that through my head, go against all my natural instincts from driving on these games for years and years, and put this all together for a 3-lap race here at the Russian Grand Prix, driving a Sergei Sorokin, an appropriate car and track combo for this challenge, considering the Russian Grand Prix has just been on the weekend gone by. When this video does go live, just about to happen at the time of recording this. I'm recording this on Saturday night. Now, we are starting up the field in P7, the best of the rest spot, just to spice things up a little bit, because I'm going to be slow in this challenge, I can imagine, and naturally the Williams is usually at the back of the grid, so at least this way we have some cars around us, just to make this even more challenging for us. Now, if we open up the pause menu, we go across to the controls. I'll show you it is in fact inverted. We're just going to scroll down in the inverted control scheme I have created there. You can see it keeps defaulting this back to steer left and steer right. So we're just going to change this one more time, and hopefully it actually does want to save as steer left as steer right. But it has definitely done the brake and the accelerator, and you can see gear up and gear down are also inverted. Just quickly, before we do get into this challenge, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on so you know when every one of my F1 2018 videos do go live. But without further ado, let's get to the track. Here we go, the Inverted Controls Challenge, and it has reverted my steering yet again. This is going to be really annoying if it just doesn't let me save my steering as back to front. You saw me change it during my intro, but now I need to do it one more time quickly. There we go, we've got steer left and steer right inverted. Now we want to save to control scheme, I should say, and now let's try and go driving. Is this going to work? No, it is not. Come on. Turn my wheel to the right, and no, it's turning to the right. It is not. Oh, fuck's sake, Codemasters. Fuck's sake, why have you made your game idiot-proof? Right, so it's not letting me do the inverter controls on my wheel, but what I've worked out is I can actually steer with the pad, invert the steering on that, and still use my pedals, which I have already inverted, so I accelerate with the brake pedal and vice versa. So that's what I'm going to be doing for this challenge now. It's a weird hybrid between using my wheel and my pad to try to actually do this inverted controls challenge, because it will not let me invert my wheel, turn right to turn left with the wheel, but it will let me do it with the pad, so that's what we're going to do. Here we go, let's get this race started. We want to grab the clutch, which is that. We want to accelerate, which is my brake pedal, and here we go. We've got 5 red lights in Russia, and it's lights out, and away we go up through the gears. We do. Oh, that's right, I have to put a lot of pressure on the pedal to actually, oh, we are 3 wide. We're in Oh no, this has not gone well. This has really not gone well. We are spinning at very high speed down the straight. And there we go, our wheels bounced off. We got between 2 cars. I try to steer away from the one I'm close to. I get the steering the wrong way. I hit him and I just ping pong between the two. Between Leclerc and one of the Force Indias. Then round we go. Oh boy, that's not a good start to this challenge at all. Right, attempt number 2. I need to remember that this is a pressure-based pedal that's normally my brake pedal to accelerate with, so I actually need to put a lot of pressure on it down the straight to get to full throttle, which is really confusing as we now go through turn number 1 at Russia, and oh, this is not going to end well. That's not going to end well at all. That's a big shunt. Here we go, attempt number 3. Let's see if we can at least make it down to turn number 2, the first braking zone of the circuit, and it is lights out, and away we go. This Russian Grand Prix is underway. Now I have to push the pedal down quite hard, put a fair bit of pressure on it. I'm not used to maintaining this pressure for such a long period of time, going flat out down the straight as Nico Hülkenberg does get past us. Now we're going to brake as we head down to turn number 2. Oh, I've hit the brake when I was trying to accelerate there, and now I'm back on my brake pedal to accelerate. We're going to turn. Oh, we've hit the back of Carlos Sainz through this long turn number 3, a little bit of a lift there as Fernando Alonso is coming up. Out inside is now down. I'm hitting the. Oh yeah. Oh, that is a perfect example of the inverter controls catching me out. I'm braking as I'm meant to be accelerating while turning left through a right-hander. That just demonstrates the mind fuck that is this challenge. Right, attempt number 4, and I think it's a good idea to maybe reassess our goals for this challenge. We're not going to make 3 laps. Let's see if we can at least make 1 lap of this circuit as it's lights out, and away we go. Yes, again, pushing that pedal down with quite a bit of pressure through turn number 1. We go, and we're going to look to the inside, possibly up. Oh, that wasn't even the inverter control's fault, really. That was just me being over ambitious. Right, attempt number 5. This time, maybe let's just go into a more preservation mode than trying to make an overtake like I did on that pass attempt. And his lights out, and away we go. A lot of wheel spin off the line. Hulkenberg and Perez already passed us as we head through turn number 1. Through there, okay, is now down the straight. We go a little bit off. Oh, there we go. There we go. A little bit of contact, and I turned the wrong way in the same ping pong effect. And we didn't make it to turn 2 again. Attempt numero 6. Let's just play it a bit more careful. Hopefully we can make it to turn number 4, which is where we have made it on our best attempt so far. Although that was a few attempts ago, is now down towards turn number 1 we go. There's a bit of contact between Raikkonen and Verstappen as we get a little bit wide there. Yellow flags further back in the pack, and it wasn't us crashing this time. Is now on to the brakes we go, damaging that front wing as we brake instead of accelerating, trying to get out of there in the first place. Is now in to turn number 3 we go, turning to the right on my pad, which is really confusing me, and I'm not quite pushing enough pressure down on the pedal to get out of there. And we take a nice line through there, I'd say. A little bit of track extending, but I'm not too fussed about that right now. As back on the power we go. We got through that braking zone. Alright, got a better exit than Grosjean, but just nothing we can do with it. It's now back on the brakes. Charles Leclerc, very aggressive up our insides, back onto the brake pedal I go. This is... I'm having to I'm having to concentrate so hard to remember that the brake is the accelerator is the brake, and the steering is like one little lapse in concentration, and I turn the wrong way and I spear off into the wall just like that. Right, attempt number 7. That previous attempt was quite encouraging, except for the end, let's say, when I had a little lapse of concentration. It was getting quite straining by the end of there, trying to remember everything for such a... It's not even a long period of time, but it requires so much effort to remember. It's... Oh, yes, saved it. No, we haven't. Oh, yeah. I don't even know what to say. That was just a mess, really. A complete mess. Right, attempt 8 heading in to turn number 1. We're side by side with Nico Hulkenberg as we head down the straight, getting a little bit close to that thing on the left where the wall just juts out ever so slightly in a decent line through turn number 2. We actually took that quite well, to be fair to myself, as now through turn number 3 we do go. I am struggling because I am on the pad as well, not just the inverter controls. The pad is a bit foreign to me as we go very wide through that corner, trying to balance the throttle and the brake and getting them a little bit mixed up in the middle of that process. Is down through turn number 5 we go. We lose a position to Kevin Magnussen. Here comes Carlos Sainz, someone to our outside. That... Oh, Lord. Oh, a simple little lapse in concentration. I turn right because it's a right-hander and I go left into the wall. Oh, wow, I've actually got off to a decent start. We're challenging Max Verstappen. Oh dear. Oh, we're being pushed off the track by Holcomb. Oh, there we go, into that wall. I've been waiting for that to happen. Clipping that little bit of wall that juts out, and there we go. Right, I've lost count of how many attempts it has been so far, but hopefully this one will be the one. I've been getting better at this challenge ever so slightly. Less incidents through this first corner. We're making it further around the lap, and hopefully we can at least make it to the DRS straight on this attempt, possibly even right to the end of the lap. As hard on the brakes we go down in to turn. No, careful on the power, a little bit squirmish, and we're getting very wide. Is now in to the long turn number 3 we go. A little bit of contact with Magnussen. He brake checks us there a second time, and we get even more damage. Is now down. Oh, there's contact. Oh no, we're turning the wrong way. Oh yeah, I don't even know what happened there. See, once you sort of... something adverse happens, your natural instincts start to kick in, and you start pressing the wrong pedals, putting the wrong inputs into the car, and it just makes the whole situation even worse. Oh, Force India! Perez, what are you doing? Right, we survived the run down to turn number 2, and now through Turn 3, we do go, and somehow I've not fucked that up too bad. It's now down into turn 4. We're side by side with Charles Leclerc. Let's try to give him a little bit of space, and here comes our teammate. Lance Stroll is down into turn number 5. He's going to our outside. We're going to run him out of room. That was actually a decent racing line. We actually took through that corner. I'm quite surprised. Oh, he's barged up our inside, knocked us off the track, and we've damaged our front wing, but we can press on right now. Oh, I'm turning the wrong way. Power. We've made it further than I think we have ever before. That was the point just there where we speared off into the wall. Is now back on the power through this right hand on to the DRS straight. We go, push that pedal down, put all the pressure on the brake pedal. I'm not used to putting this much pressure on the pedal for such a long period of time. But here we go, a difficult braking zone down here. And now, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, not only am I using the wrong foot and the wrong pedal to brake, it's sort of turned around. The style of braking is different because the pedal configuration, I guess you can say, is different. I run Thrustmaster T3 PAs, and I use the conical brake mod in my brake pedal, so obviously that really changes the feel and the technique used in braking compared to, say, using a throttle pedal. So that just makes it even harder to get the braking right, but that was a very encouraging attempt with how far we did make it, and I think this very, very next attempt can be the one that we make it all the way. Here we go, I'm saying, this is the one, this is the last attempt we're going to do. If we don't get it this time, I'm going to give up on this challenge. I don't think we can do it. Here we go, we are underway, and we actually get a good start. We're going to go to the inside of Kimi Räikkönen. We are 3 wide through turn number 1. I'm going to put a little lift in there just to keep this car in one piece. Preservation mode as we head down towards turn number 2 onto the brakes. We do go try to ease off the pedal to stop us locking up. The same line we take every lap so far through turn number 2 just to keep the car in one piece. Through 3 we go. I'm turning to the right and it's really doing my head in here. It's now down to turn number 4 on the brakes. Decent line through there. Cut the corner a little bit, but not too displeased with that as Grosjean is coming up our inside through this next right-hander. Very conservative there, and we make that work because now we have a car flying up our inside, and that is Nico Hülkenberg. Oh, we've hit the brakes instead of the accelerator out of there, locking up that front right. Oh, I've turned to the wall. Who was that? It's Charles Leclerc. I'm not going to say a bad word about him. I like him a lot. And we're just going to continue as there goes Kevin. Oh, I'm using the wrong pedal. It's all coming unstuck. We're onto the straight. This is where it gets difficult. The end of this straight is going to be very difficult for us as both the McLarens blast past us. So does Ericsson and a Force India of Ocon. Of course, I wasn't going quite full throttle because I was getting a little, I didn't have all the pressure on the brake pedal, which requires a fair bit to get it all the way depressed to get full throttle, but we make it through there. Only a couple more corners to go. We are losing a few more places. We're not in to last place just yet. Okay, aggressive move on out. No! 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 I'm doing this again. I'm that close to the end. I can do this. Here we go, through this right-hander and onto the back straight we go. Let's make sure we get full pressure on this pedal to make sure we are going flat out and we don't get mugged off by the McLarens down the straight. We have Charles Leclerc right in behind us, and we're going to go on to the brakes. A bit of a lock-up there. Very bad through that braking zone, but we do manage to keep the car out of the wall, and that is the focus here, getting very, very wide on to the... Oh, we're turning the wrong way. No, I've done it again. No! Oh, that was a bit of a moment on the throttle. That was a little bit scary as now we're being hit from behind. I think it was. I'm not too sure. We're just going to keep on pressing on. We're that close to the end. We've made it halfway. Once we've made it this far, we've made it very close to the end. We've done a good job to get this far through this right-hander and on to the back straight we go now. We're still in 14th place, so we're not doing too badly. We've got Brendan Hartley right behind us with the Toro Rosso, the Honda-powered Toro Rosso, so we shouldn't have to worry about him at the end of this straight. As on to the brakes, we do go down through the gears back onto the power under the big Fanatec sign. Please sponsor me, Fanatec, I want you here. As through this long left-hander we go on to the brakes, turn to the right we go, and now we flick back to the left and back on to the power. 2 corners to go. 2 corners to go on to the brakes. We've got Fernando Alonso in the McLaren going around our outside into the final corner, back on to the power and across the line. Yes, yes, we've done it. A full lap of the Sochi track with inverted controls. I am very, very happy with that. So there we go, we have done the inverted controls challenge. It wasn't quite the initial challenge I had in mind with actually using my steering wheel, because for some reason F1 2018 doesn't want that to happen. But I did it with the controller and my pedals there as well, so I was using the brake to accelerate, and I was turning right on the pad to turn left. A bit weird how I was actually had a pad in my hands using my pedals and then inverted controls, but I made it work. Hopefully it made an entertaining video for you guys. If there's any other challenges you do want to see me do, make sure you do comment them down below. Definitely open to more challenge ideas. These are fun things to do, something a little bit different. But that is going to do it for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you do leave a like. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on so you know when every one of my F1 2018 videos do go live. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.